All praises to the Most High. This is Elliot. You know, we need each other. We really need to support one another in the things that we're doing as believers and followers of the Most High God in these last days. Because as things start to unfold around the world, in our personal lives, whatever's affected by the changes that are happening in these last moments of these last days, we're going to realize that we're going to need support. We're going to need people who are plugged into the Most High, that can hear from the Most High and give a word, like myself, or maybe like you. You're going to need people who have assets and resources that are available to share with one another. Maybe that's you. We're going to need people who literally are able to be strong in tough situations that may come ahead. We're going to need support, and we're going to need to love one another like we never have before. And I'm talking to the people who are literally chasing God with everything that they have in these last days. Because it's so important for us to understand that during this awakening, where so many people are waking up to their identity and understanding who they are, and then on the flip side, the Gentiles who are still seeing and understanding who the people of the book are, who's God's chosen people, the Israelites, and how they will have to cling and cleave onto the house of Israel for salvation, that we're going to have to realize that we're going to come together spiritually, physically too, but spiritually in a way that's never done before, in truth, and the true understanding of what it's going to take in these last days to move forward and be prepared for what the Most High has for us. See, the way things are laid out and the way things are moving right now is that there's so many things that are unfolding in this world that are trying to keep us in a constant state of fear and doubt and anxiety. So many things that are trying to keep us just spreading rumors and lies and just things to affect our spirit, to keep us uneasy, to maybe mix the signals that the Most High is sending. Because he is definitely sending signals. He is getting people prepared for what's to come. He's getting his people prepared. He's getting people who've chosen to follow him, not just in spirit, but in truth, to be able to rise high and be ready for the moves that he's making in these last days. And the reason why I say we need each other, once again, is because a lot of the gifts that he's given to the body of believers will just come together, kind of like Voltron. There's so many things that, and I'm speaking prophetically because we haven't even seen yet. We literally have not seen yet what it's going to be like. And I'm not saying this in fear. I'm saying because we can't live in fear. Don't be fearful about the days to come, although they probably will be harder and things will be a lot different. And the true Israelites, God's true chosen people, in my opinion, the way I've seen things happening, it seems like we're going to be shut out of the world even more so. Unless there's compromise, it seems like it's really hard to move and flow the way that we once did. And for those who choose to not compromise but stand on faith and God's word in order to strive and survive these last days, then that's who I'm talking to. Because the things that the world used to be able to help us with, it will not be any longer. And so what do? How do we use each other for resources, for edification purposes? Well, I don't have that answer. I don't know what's really going on personally in your personal life and the people that the Most High has exposed you to. I know personally with me that he's had me in a situation where there's not too many people that I've been able to communicate with because I had such a large group or sphere of influence of people who've chosen to go opposite of the Most High and follow the world, what the world has to offer in these last days. Although I'm still available to some of these people, we just continue to, if there was a fork in the road, there's some people who have gone this way and I chose to go this way, the path less traveled. And if you're watching this video, you're probably taking the path less traveled as well. But I will tell you that he did not create a body of believers for us to work together, for us to not be able to work together. That would just go against his word. So that's one of the things that I love and really am passionate about with building this platform on Signal Global, and whatever he has for me in the future as well. Because I do believe as we have people who are striving to do everything that they could do for the Most High, and we can come together, not just to listen to videos and hit the like button, but maybe we could come together offline sometimes. Maybe we could gather. Maybe we could do things, just meeting up live and stuff like that, where we can really help build and edify. It's just, even if it's our small group, to take things to new levels and be contagious. See, a lot of the things that are happening that the Most High is doing in these last days are things that are coming from on high, as he's hitting us up right where we are. And then we have the responsibility to put hands and feet to our faith and do what we need to do according to his word. I tell you what, compassion is so important in these days, for one another, and especially for the Israelites. You see, now this is hard to explain, because the Bible says that only 1/3 of Israel will be saved. So if you look at the whole group of us, right? And now that's just Israel. I'm not talking about the Gentiles that choose to cling to Israel. But if you look at the whole group of us, you're probably going to say, if you do 2/3, you see 3 people, one of those 3 people will be saved. Okay, just for ratio and illustration purposes. So the other 2 people that are not probably went the ways of this world, maybe compromised in a way that they can't be redeemed from, and that's unfortunate. And maybe the other person, that's the 1/3, the person that represents that 1/3 of that group, they may not be where they need to be yet, but yet they are able, they're willing, they're hungry, and they're feeling something inside of them that wants to know more and line up with what the word says to be ready for him in these last days. And for our people to know that, to have the discernment to know, okay, well, I've tried to minister to this person, I've tried to tell this person ABC, don't do this, don't do that, and they still want to do it. I try to tell this person, don't compromise, don't join this organization, don't do this, but they still want to do it because they are following after the god of this world. You know who that is? Satan, right? Lucifer. But they're not following after the Most High God, the one that is literally has made promises for us, that is doing everything that he said he would do, that has kept us concealed, and that said that he would allow us to wake up in the lands in which we were scattered. That God, the Most High God. And if we're following him, like I said, if there's that one person or 2 people that you're talking to that may not be where you are at this point, have compassion for them. Continue to pray. Continue to know that you weren't always there. I don't think the truth allows you to get puffed up. Maybe it depends upon personality. But in these days and times, walking in the truth, if you're truly walking in God's spirit, then compassion should be a key component of that. Because just to know, especially if you are an Israelite, if you can identify through bloodline, if you are, and you and your forefathers were somehow connected to the transatlantic slave trade, which is explained in Deuteronomy 28:68, then you are very likely, most likely, definitely, most likely, there could have been some situations that happened that messed your blood up, but you are most likely, by bloodline, a child of Israel. And if that's the case, just have compassion, have understanding, and knowing that, we've been in this world where we were taught falsely through Christianity, that we were just given all the opportunity to be a part of this world and to turn our backs on God because the world offered so many things, and we just didn't have that relationship. But have that compassion for that person who didn't go too far, who didn't compromise their soul, and knowing that they could potentially wake up, they could potentially be used, they could potentially walk in their identity. See, that's real important. That's real important to me, and that's how I see most of these people out here. Sometimes I see people who I know that maybe have not heard the truth yet, although it's getting out there in so many different ways, especially through social media. And that, maybe if they heard it and if they're still in the right place, that they could take a part. They can take part in this promise, that they would not have to be part of the 2/3 that won't make it. See, we need each other not just for what we can do for one another physically, but spiritually, through evangelism, through support, through prayer, through nudging. See, as you get closer to the Most High, you'll pretty much understand who has what it takes in these days to accept the truth and to walk in it. And then you can also see those people who are perpetrators, or people who are using this for financial gain. There's a lot of people who are doing that, false teachers online, people who are doing this because they just want to be prideful. There's people who are, especially in some of these camps that you see out here, just people who just don't really have a connection to the Holy Spirit, but they're just doing this just to be part of an organization. See, those people, unfortunately, would be separated somehow, some way when the time comes. But as you continue to move and flow with the Most High and do what you need to do and just talk to the people that He sends you, see, that can be a prayer that you have. It's like, God, Father, just do whatever you can do to me to allow me to be used to help in this awakening, to help in this process, to share information, to share videos like this, to share scriptures, just pray for people, to love on them somehow through a gift, maybe make them a meal. That was a random example, but whatever it is, we have to continue to build one another up and prepare one another, because what I will tell you in these last days is that things are moving at light speed in terms of the agenda that this world has, and to get people where they want to get people. But see, things are moving at light speed with what the Most High is doing and what He's doing with His people. And like I said, He'll send that signal, He'll send that nudge, He'll send that desire for us to want more, to want to learn more, to line up with Him in every way possible. But then we need to put feet on our faith. We need to learn, how can we be used? How can we be used to help one another? To have a support group, to just continue to encourage and just get prepared. See, we have a lot of young ones coming up. There's a lot of youth out there. There's a lot of children. And it's amazing that there's so many children that are alive today, that are walking in truth, that actually know who they are. Young kids who know that they're Israelites. I can't imagine having and knowing my identity at such a young age. I almost say it's kind of a blessing to not have known this any sooner, because as I was waiting for things to unfold in this world and seeing how the Most High was going to do things, I would have been like, oh, God, why are you tarrying? It's so long. If we're your chosen people, why do we have to go through this and the oppression and the depression and all the different things that we have to fight through in order to make it? But not knowing, for me, served its purpose for a while. I was able to go along and get along without having that stress of wondering when the Most High was going to move. But at the same token, I'm just so excited to see these young kids and anybody of any age realizing who they are in these days and really coming back to the truth of the Most High and doing what they need to do in these moments and times. So all that to say is just to circle back and just to remind you how much we need one another. We need to pray for one another. We need to encourage and edify one another, and just continue to move strongly and boldly with compassion, peace, purity, important, and just being ready for what the Most High has for us. At the same time, working out our salvation. We need deliverance. There's so many things that maybe we've carried on from the world, generational curses, different things like that, that we need to be free from. Work out your salvation. Know that these are the times that He's given us to literally go deep and to just, if we just have to ask for prayer. Like I literally will pray for you to help you, and I do pray for everyone who watches and my subscribers that feel like we have a covenant connection. I pray that, kind of the same prayers I pray for myself, that you would expose the darkness in us, that we would help that work on it, that we can be delivered and set free and to be used by Him in a mighty way. That we will overcome our troubles and obstacles, and that we will receive His blessings, and that there will be no hindering spirits in the way. See, these are the things that we need from one another. This is an example of how we can help build ourselves up with the tools, with the faith, with the prayer, with everything that He's given us in order to make it in these last days and times. It's amazing. It's an amazing time to live in. And like I said, don't be afraid for what's ahead, because the days that were prophesied are here. We just have to endure to the end. Even when things get tough, there's a place of refuge that the Most High will have for us. That's how He does it. He loves His people. This whole book, this whole stage play, movie, whatever you call it, is about the children of Israel. Is that you? It's me. Can you believe this is all about us? It's amazing. So to the Gentiles out there, I say again, my mission is to preach to the Jew first and then the Gentile, but to those people who have a heart for God and know who His people are based upon the truth that has been revealed and is out there, it's everywhere on these last days. If you cling to Israel, and if you truly show that you love the Most High and you are willing to follow His laws, statutes, and commandments, now is your time to do so. Cling and be grafted in. All praises to the Most High. This is Elliot. And until the next time we speak, shalom.